Good, all right, man. We're rolling. How's it going?
Nice. It's going pretty good. Had some pretty busy 2 weeks. What about you?
I had a busy last week, and the week before I was on holiday, so I think your last 2 weeks will be
Oh yeah.
a little more exciting. But anyways,
You
episode one of the Grind Mastermind, where Chris and I will check in every 2 weeks, which we do together anyways, and we finally decided why don't we just stream it, right? So we're gonna spend this will be a 30-minute show, quick show, 10 minutes, where Chris will go through his last 2 weeks, how it's gone, progress, struggles, lessons learned, and then what he's going to focus on for the next 2 weeks. I'll do the same, and then we'll last 10 minutes we'll talk about struggles, takeaways, cool books, ideas,
yeah.
whatever. So you want to jump in? How's or should we do it?
Yeah,
You want
sure.
to you want to start with like a 30-second intro, just like who you are, what you're
Yeah,
focused
yeah.
on?
Yeah, so I'm Chris. I'm the founder at Conversion Alchemy, which is basically a conversion copywriting agency for seven and eight figure SaaS and e-commerce businesses. And what I do is kind of integrating copywriting with UX design. So basically converting more website visitors into customers, demos, or sign-ups, leads, anything. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing right now.
Awesome. So with that in mind, how'd the last 2 weeks go?
Yeah, so it's been pretty busy, as I mentioned. After the holidays, lots of stuff to work on. My goals were, I was actually working on my ebook. So I have a daily newsletter that I send out from Monday to Friday. And the problem is, I ran a sponsorship, like a paid sponsorship, a couple of weeks ago, which went pretty well. But I realized that I kind of messed up because I didn't have anything in place. Like my funnel was still like pretty like bare bones. Didn't even have like an opt-in or like an incentive. So that's what I worked on these past 2 weeks. I built this. Basically started creating this ebook and the whole funnel that's behind it. The ebooks is basically just a collection of a lot actually, of past emails that I sent out.
Yeah, I looked
Just
at it.
because,
There's a lot in there, which we could
yeah,
talk about.
yeah, just because a lot of people, I actually had a few people who signed up recently, especially with the sponsorship, who actually asked me where they could find previous issues. And I have them on my blog, which is fine, but I also wanted to create something a bit more valuable, like a curation, like a collection of emails with additional like homework, exercises, and a personal touch for people to sign up. So the ebook is basically done, as well as the funnel. I don't know if you tested it. I sent you the link yesterday, but basically what I've done was duplicate all my current existing assets. So the landing page, the thank you page, all the emails, I duplicate all of them and tested them. So they're not live yet, but I tested them
Yeah,
and
I
everything
tested it, so
seems,
I'm on the list. So that
yeah,
part worked.
yeah, okay. So yeah, so basically nothing special really. Landing page, thank you page. I'm sending a welcome email with the download link for the ebook. And then I'm sending two more emails. Usually they are supposed to be sent out like 2 weeks after signing up, and the other one a month after signing up, which is basically the first one is just asking for feedback on the actual emails on the newsletter. And the second one is to get a review for the ebook that I'm gonna post on the landing page probably.
How do you
Uh,
stagger it, right? Because you send daily emails.
yeah,
So
yeah.
so how does that like
I was
one day
actually
they'll just get two emails?
Yeah, I was actually thinking at first, I thought of sending those out like on a Sunday, which could actually be a bit disruptive and catch attention. But then I thought, um, actually, like people on a Sunday probably don't want to hear from me. They're already hearing enough. So I thought
You
just
never know.
sending them, I could test it, yeah, but I don't know, especially for asking for something. I'd rather just send them a second email, like in the afternoon, because I usually schedule mine to go out in the morning. So just sending it like another email in the afternoon, since they are not expecting me to usually send more than one email. It's probably enough. I actually tested this out a while ago, where I can't remember exactly what I asked, but it was some piece of feedback, maybe for the ebook. And I sent out this broadcast to go out like in the evening, and a couple of people responded, so the response was quite good. So I'll test it out and see how it goes. There's plenty of time, and also before those go out, it's gonna be like 2 weeks and months. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, everything is ready, tested. The only thing that we discussed yesterday is, should I cut the ebook down, because right now it's almost 200 pages, which the reason is because I wanted it to be as valuable as possible, also including like personal touch exercises where people get in touch with me and I help them out with homework. It's going to be interesting to see how that goes once, if I start getting a lot of signups, which in that case I could scale down and edit the ebook. But as far as like putting all the emails together, it's 50 emails. It actually took me not a lot of time, 2 weeks, but mostly my assistant worked on it. I basically just picked the email, we kind of organized it. I wrote the extra sections, so the introduction, the homework. So it wasn't a lot of work. But yeah, it's ready. I always have the time to scale it down and see if I can do anything else with the content. But for now, I'm pretty happy with it. The design, you gave me good feedback on the design, right?
Yeah, the design's really good.
I actually started with I think only the cover was a template in Canva, and I did everything myself, the rest of it, but mostly just using the styles that I have on my website just to keep everything on brand. So yeah, that's been going pretty well. One of the other goal that I had. So finish the ebook, finish newsletter funnel. Okay, so that's ready. We're probably gonna launch next week, I think, and see how that goes. I also had as a goal to try to find another newsletter sponsorship, but I want to wait until this is ready. So I actually skipped that and focused on more other stuff. And that's pretty much it. As far as goals for my next 2 weeks, I would say...
Let me write this down. Just so you guys know, every 2 weeks we set a new couple goals and we write them down. So in 2 weeks when we go live again, we'll run these... we'll give our updates against our goals and whether we hit them or not.
And if you follow, you can insult us in the comments.
Yeah.
If we mess up.
That's why part of why we wanted to share it, right? To have that accountability. Cool. So next 2 weeks, what's the focus?
So next 2 weeks, and I can talk about this a bit after in our final chat. I'm working on, so I have to launch the ebook and the new funnel. That has to be ready and live. That's first.
Okay.
And I'm also working on a new social media scheduling process and system with my assistant. So that's going to help me reduce the time that I spend on it, because lately it's been taking me too much time every day. So I'm streamlining that out, delegating stuff, and I want to test that out.
So what should I say? Like streamline social media?
Streamline social media posting.
Okay.
And also, we can set for next 2 weeks to find another sponsorship opportunity.
All right. Sounds good to me. Cool. Anything else before we flip over?
No, up to you.
Cool. On my end, what's today, the 20th? I was off till the 10th. I took a 10-day vacation, which was really nice. and
Living La Vida Loca in Florida.
Yeah, man, it was great. We were lazy. We got really good weather. It was like a really nice recharge. Last week and a half, we've been beta testing. So Chris kind of talks about his one business, his copywriting, UX, kind kind of, we'll call it a service business for now, even though, it'll evolve. On my end, the two things I focus on mostly is Visto, right? So I am an immigration lawyer by trade, and I spend most of my time on my immigration tech company, Visto. We'll link to all this in the description if anybody wants to check them out. So that's where I spend most of my time. And then, of course, Solopreneur Grind is kind of like a passion project where we share our journey, kind of like what Chris and I are doing right here. So anyways, most of my last week and a half has been on the Visto side, has been beta testing and like QAing our newest software tool. So we're building a tool that automates the visa process for international students that want to come to Canada. And the cool part about it too is we kind of have like a B2B and a B2C version. So kind of like how TurboTax helps Americans file their taxes without needing an accountant, our tool will help international students prep and file their visa without needing a lawyer. But then we also have a version that the lawyers can use, right? So like a B2B version that lawyers and immigration consultants and agents can use to help save time, et cetera, et cetera. So we've been beta testing it. We're hoping to launch kind of publicly like the first week of February. So we still have probably another 1.5 weeks of beta testing, fixing bugs, getting those last little features fixed and in and ready to go. So that's been really good. I don't know about you, like I find QAing is like, it's very weird because there's like so much uncertainty, and like one day you feel great, and then the next day this big bug happens, and then the next day so you feel like crap, and then the next day it's fixed, so you're back to being excited. So it's like this whole like weird whirlwind, but then you also realize that it's not live yet, so like the world's not ending, you know what I mean? So
I was actually a software engineer for 10 years before doing this stuff, and I was actually in the like first person subject to all this stuff. But the problem was also that our machine, like we were working on those machines, were kind of like robots, so you actually risked getting injured by those machines if you mess something up.
Oh god, yeah, we don't do hardware.
Reality check.
We just do software, which I guess is physically safer. So, but yeah. I figured you'd appreciate that, given your experience.
Is the newer product the B2B side or the B2C? I don't remember.
Both. It does both.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of why like the beta has been taking us a little bit longer, like a couple weeks extra, because we actually have two versions of the same new product that we're launching. We have two versions. They're very similar. But
two-sided.
Yeah, exactly, two-sided. So that's been really good. On the Solopreneur Grind side, I decided to pause the interview podcasts and replace it with what we're doing here. I'm spending so much time on Visto, and that's the big priority. But I want to continue building the brand, sharing content, and I think building in public, which is kind of like what we're doing with this show, is a great exercise, both to hopefully provide some value and education and entertainment to other people, and also just to keep you accountable and help think of things differently. Just me being able to like bounce ideas off you every 2 weeks is really helpful.
Yeah.
So I've gotten into a pretty good groove with like posting content, and what I want to do, what I spent last week doing for SG was just kind of like sitting down, understanding what I want to do for the year, and kind of getting my messaging down. And now that I have the messaging down, I've updated part of my website. But I want to I have a couple more pages to finish. So my big goal, maybe what I'll do is I'll make a big Visto goal and a big SG goal. So for Visto, for the next 2 weeks, we want to launch. So I'll put finish beta and launch. I think we'll be able to in the next 2 weeks. Part of it's up in the air because like depends how many bugs we find when we're testing. And then I want to update the SG website, which shouldn't take me too long. Because I spend like all of Monday to Friday, sometimes more than Monday to Friday on Visto, SG kind of, takes a little bit of a backseat. But what I've been happy with on the content side, more on the SG side, is I've been pretty good and consistent with content creation. So like Chris, I have a daily email. Well, weekday email. We both send emails Monday to Friday. We'll link to the landing pages in the description if anybody wants to follow along. So sending the daily email, posting daily on LinkedIn as well, Monday to Friday, posting almost daily on TikTok for Visto and SG. I think that's it. I think that's it. TikTok and Shorts, right? Which you and I have talked about, kind of like. And what we'll do with this is take this mastermind video, cut it up into snippets, and share that on TikTok and on Shorts. So yeah, that's kind of the last 2 weeks. And like I said, next 2 weeks we want to get the product launched, which also means I'll then kind of shift more focus to marketing and sales. And then also get the website updated. I think the goal really with getting the website updated is like kind of like what you're going through right now, is like update the home base. So like the website, the landing page, they're neat, they're tidy, they're the language that we want it to be. And then shift focus to, okay, how do I drive traffic towards that funnel so that we can, build our email list, build our followings. LinkedIn's been really good for me. So I want to keep it up on LinkedIn. Anyways, that's it for me. Have you been posting on LinkedIn?
Yeah. Basically, what I do for posting on LinkedIn is from my daily newsletter, basically, I turn that into a tweet or a Twitter thread, and then also post that on LinkedIn. I just decided yesterday to try posting my Instagram and TikTok reels, both on LinkedIn and Twitter, because I saw that you can actually post videos and use tags. So I'll see how that goes.
I think native video on LinkedIn can do quite well. So if you already have the like 30, 45 second video and you're already uploading it on
it depends. It depends because with the video that like TikTok allows you to actually do like nice videos with the background, so you can show like books and stuff and comment on it, right?
Right.
So I just post that. That ends up being in my phone gallery, and I just repost that everywhere else. Even if you see the TikTok logos.
But apparently that'll hurt you. I don't know. Have you tried using some of the apps? Like, have you tried? Because like even on iPhone they have clips. Have you tried using clips to create a video?
I mean, the only thing that I was using the native camera, but the problem is, as I mentioned, so far my content posting routine has been taking me so long that like even just having to post natively on different platforms it's a pain right now. But I hope that with a new routine I might streamline that, and maybe I can do that. What's the Clips app?
So
like a standalone app?
Yeah, it's like, I think it's an Apple standalone app now. So check it on your phone. It's called Clips.
Yeah.
Because if you record natively on that, like, number one, you won't have the sticker, right? You won't have the TikTok sticker, which apparently can hurt you on other platforms. And then what you could do is upload it on like Google Drive and have your assistant post it for you, right? That's pretty cool. Like if you record one snippet and now you have a native video that can go on TikTok, Shorts, Reels, LinkedIn, Twitter, that's pretty nuts. You're going to be like Gary V, Gary Ving it, if that's a verb. Or maybe it is now.
I wanted to ask you, do you have like a process for delegating like the posting? How do you let other people, if you do that?
Right now, I
just media accounts.
Yeah, right now I just do all the posting. There's a few ways we've done it before working with other people. There's a couple ways. Number one, you can just give them access to the social media account, or probably the best way is you can use software like Buffer or whatever and hook that up to all the accounts, and then just give them the login to that. Because then if you create, there was another one I used to use. It wasn't Buffer. It was called something. And it was free for up to 3 accounts.
Yeah, I can actually, my assistant did some research, so I have a couple of options pre-selected.
I mean, the thing is, if you use one of those, you might not even need the assistant to do it, because you can upload it once and like edit the text per So like you can
Yeah,
upload a video once and then be like, okay, here's the Instagram text, but here's the shorts text, but here's the, and then just click post once and it does it 5 times.
yeah. No, I actually tried Buffer myself, but it's still fucking clunky as shit.
Oh
Like you
yeah.
have to edit stuff. Yeah, and sometimes you get into issues with how your Facebook page, Instagram page are linked, and
I used to use a
it's still
different one.
taking some time. I have she listed another one. It's called Publer. Another one is Social Champ. But yeah, like the other alternative that she also suggested, which was a pretty good idea, I think, is I'm using for password. It's called LastPass, so it's kind of like a password aggregator.
So was I. They got hacked, man. So just heads
Yeah,
up.
I know. I reset all the password and everything. And but basically, you can give access to your accounts without them seeing the password, so
Hmm.
they can access the account. So I think I'm gonna try that. And yeah, just give her access to everything and post. I might try the idea that you suggested to record the videos as well and have her post those as well, because I was thinking for at least for Instagram and TikTok to post them myself. But if I can delegate those as well, maybe it's way even better.
I think so. If she's gonna do the other 3 platforms, why not do 2 more, right? And it's just
Yeah, yeah.
such like it's not how you want to be spending much of your time, right? So
Mhm.
like that's definitely something that's easy to outsource, low hanging fruit. If it gives you an
Yeah,
extra 10, 20, 30 minutes in a day to do more marketing, do more sales, get more clients, then it's an easy decision.
yeah,
Who are you
exactly.
using for your assistant? Like, is it a VA?
Yeah, from Upwork. I found her. Actually, it's been almost a year, so it's been going pretty well.
Oh, how is it cheap?
Yeah, I think $5 an hour.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's probably the most. That's probably the biggest overlooked opportunity for solopreneurs.
yeah,
Get
and
a
I
VA.
actually tried. I tried a couple, and you kind of have to go through like the process of like filtering and learning actually what you need and what you want. But when you find a good one that's reliable, I
Hmm.
think it's a pretty
It's
cool
so valuable.
investment.
Also, I don't know about you, but it kind of makes you get better at giving instructions. Because you're
Yeah,
like, oh crap, this person doesn't know my business like I do, so I actually have to give helpful instructions. Because if you
yeah,
don't, they'll be like,
yeah.
what the heck does that mean, right? So it actually helps you become like a better communicator. But anyways,
Yeah, there's a great book that I want to revisit, which I actually downloaded back in 2014 or something when I started out, and I totally didn't need that. But I mean, it was the trend. It's called Virtual Freedom by Chris Ducker, and he was kind of, I don't know if he's still, but he was the expert in like hiring assistants from the Philippines especially. So it's got a lot of like great questions and things that you can systems to put in place with your assistant. So I'm probably going to dig into that as well.
cool. Anything else? We got a couple minutes left. Anything else?
Yeah, I have a couple of things in the works, but I'll probably share them next time. It's still a bit early, maybe to flesh them out. The other quick thing that I want to mention is that with the assistant, I also want to delegate a lot of the lead management process. So whenever a client schedules a call with me, I want to delegate the whole part of like filtering the client, qualifying the client. I want to have the assistant send the emails on my behalf. So it kind of looks a bit more professional as well, a bit like we are a bigger agency. And also, yeah,
For what
not
kind
have
of
to
stuff
worry.
though? Is it not just like, hey, book with Calendly? Like, what else has to
Yeah,
be sent?
yeah, like because I usually have like a 15-minute call, then I have a strategy session. So in between those calls, have her send like extra information, having her, especially if it's a client sign up for a 15-minute call, I want to give her some qualifiers that she can use to say, okay, this is a good lead. We can let it pass the first test. And also before the first call, I want to have some data and some research done, so like the revenue of the company, the trajectory, maybe finding a helpful article that I can send them as like a quick win in the first call,
Right.
like stuff like that. Just to give a bit more value and also give me a bit more authority and credibility right away.
Makes
which can
sense.
help conversions.
Do you get her a custom domain email address?
Yeah, I still have to, but I'll probably just have another. I use G Suite, so
Yeah, it's
I'll
like
create
what,
another
six
one.
bucks a month or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool. I think if it's worth it for your funnel, then yes. And then yeah, having like it's kind of funny whenever I get somebody's like assistant to book, I kind of have
Mm.
two thoughts. Um, and I just forgot what the second one is. My first thought is
I-
like, oh snap, like must be pretty legit. This person has an assistant, and I can't remember what my second thought. Oh my god.
If you, I think if you use it at the beginning, like at the beginning, you don't need it. Like just send a Calendly link, right? But there are some people who actually use the assistant, and you have to go back and forth with assistant to decide on the date. That's not like that's overkill.
Well,
But if
let
you
me
use
let
it
me
in
get
the
your thoughts on
strategic points, I think it's good.
let me get your thoughts on this. So I've had conversations with people who hate Calendly and basically
Hmm.
say that it offends them. And this has
Ah,
been less in Canada. I'm based in Canada, more so in the US, where people are like, "Oh, if you use a Calendly link, you're elitist. I don't want. Why can't you just book with? You know what I mean?
wow, that
What do
never
you
happened
think?
with me.
No, I don't see it
Never.
very often. And
It
it,
wasn't even on my radar.
so what I've actually done since hearing that is I actually don't use Calendly myself personally. I love when other people have Calendly links because I actually think it's great. I've nothing against
Yeah.
those links, whether it's Calendly, HubSpot. There's like a million of them now. Um, but now what I do, especially if I know the person's based in the U.S., is I say, "Hey, let me know some days or times that work for you, or if you want, book with me here," and I provide the link. So I kind of
Yeah,
give them the
exactly.
option.
Yeah. So check this out. I could do this on my website. Here's the calendar link, or speak with my assistant to book a date and time.
Yeah. No,
Could
this
be
is a
like an
small
option.
detail, and maybe on your side of the pond, it's like not even a thing. It could be like a cultural thing, but I've
I,
heard and seen. I think it's more in like the U.S. upper class like tech scene where they're kind of
yeah,
like,
I don't know.
you
I
know
don't
what I
know
mean?
because a lot of my clients are from the US, but I never had
Oh,
it.
okay, yeah. Maybe it's just a
Uh,
small group of people. I disagree with it. I think it saves everybody time.
yeah, exactly.
But I don't know. So yeah, I wanted to hear what your thoughts were. But anyways.
There was I started out before using Calendly. I was using this other app, booking app. It's called X.ai,
Yeah, yeah. I've,
which,
I've seen
yeah,
that.
and they actually got acquired, so they're not in place anymore. But I was using that, and it was basically like a AI virtual assistant who was going back and forth with the client.
I
But
think
yeah,
the
I
idea
mean,
is like, who are you to like delegate me to like booking a time with you and like making me feel like I'm your assistant? You know what I
yeah,
mean? I
yeah,
don't think
I
it's
don't
a good
know.
argument because like, what do you want me to say? I'm booked at 1 p.m. So I'm not going to book you
Yeah,
at 1 p.m. I already have a call at 1 p.m. You know what I mean? So anyways,
exactly.
I disagree with it, but
And
I give people the option if they don't like
yeah,
the link.
yeah, that's a good point. You
Anyways,
never know what
small
people
details.
think.
Yeah, exactly. Cool, man. Well, so a quick wrap. So for next
Yeah.
week, Chris's focus is to launch the ebook and new funnel, streamline social media posting, and pick at least one new newsletter sponsorship to try out. On my end, gonna finish the beta and hopefully launch our new software for Visto, and then get the Solopreneur Grind website updated. And then we'll go from there. So keep us accountable. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you have any comments or suggestions on how to improve or anything like that, please let us know in the comments below. We really appreciate it. And if you want to check out either of our stuff, whether it be Chris's copywriting business or my immigration software business or Solopreneur Grind to kind of like follow my journey, check out the links in the description below. Chris, it's a
Yeah,
pleasure. Any
and
last words?
if anyone has any idea, we could actually do maybe sometimes like a Q&A or something, like interact with people. That would be fun.
Yeah, or any questions we can answer them live too.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we're gonna make this a habit for Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern time. So mark it on the calendars. I think in the future I'll actually just create a YouTube live event, because you can do that. I can create an event, you and I can share it ahead of time, blah, blah, blah. But it was the first one, so I knew we'd be late, and I knew we'd be stumbling last minute. But once we get into the groove, it'll be more consistent. So anyways, Chris, it's been a pleasure. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Enjoy your Friday. Have a good weekend.
Cheers. You too. See you.
Bye-bye.